with you, boy. You know what time it is, nigga.
Better watch how you step in. Yeah. But that was my niggas.
Yeah. I'm in it, yo. Got my nigga Rewan with me.
But that was my niggas, it'll be an honor.
You know what I'm saying?
Under commanding general, your honor. That for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Look, hey, straight off the top, I love all of my niggas. That shit ain't gon' stop till we on top and we ballin', my nigga. We be fly as fuck, you know them bitches be stalking my niggas. That shit'll never change and it's the same with all my niggas. City to city, I should be at home. That's what my ribs say. But bitch, I'm grown, I'm in these streets and closed caption. Niggas know we bout that action. If a nigga play with me, then my Hakim gon' let him have it. Hey, think you the shit, this truth the shit. Nigga play, I let that Ruger hit. Get on them tracks, they be like, who is this? I'm rude with it. Ain't got no manners, all them pussy niggas talking shit. Yeah, I know they can't stand us, but we UPK, Louisiana, bitch, that's what I'm rippin'. And my niggas solid number, real ones in my section. If you wanna get down, put your boots on, start stepping. Brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood I lay my life down right now for all my sisters and brothers, because I love them, I see them dapping and hug them. It's amazing to see how well we adapt from the struggle. Born again from a life of sin, trapped in the gutter. My mind frame was to kill my own kind. Feeling inferior, waking up ready to die. Run with them killers, so it's just a matter of time. For I take your life or let you take mine. That's when I realized the slaves killing slaves while the white man live to get old. We in them graves, shit got me feeling played. I opened the Bible, went through them records, found out we was royalty, a nation to be respected. But in this world we rejected, we hated for our complex. Still fighting to get accepted. We hear the truth and reject it, but love is getting corrected. And all my niggas correct me. The commandments, the foundation we erected. Brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood is a weapon. Hey, hey.
Yeah, you know what it is. 140 for the rapper, busy man, shit, nigga. They take their head over, nigga.
I read what Eve did to Adam, I just pray my love don't lie to me. Swing the iron like stamps and I can't let no hoe to lie to me. I don't feel these rappers, all they lies is hypocrisy. Ain't no competition, ain't no rivalry. Niggas think I'm playing, I don't hear one word they saying, this shit light work. Think Muhammad one of us, he might lose his life first. Suckle up and stay alert. Another cop can stretch the nigga. He a demon, this an exorcism. Watch I bless the nigga. You took that open blood, then you know I'm gonna get active with you. From the opposition, I see vision. Let me paint the picture. Rappers claim they spin, I ain't listening. Is in fact the If revenge was a woman, now I stole that bitch like Jake the Ride War. We gon' run the summer, it's gon' be historical. Thought they making plays, made them niggas call the audible. Ask who run this shit, but that question is rhetorical. Bitch, I'm the one, me cookies with the oil. I'ma get them crackers, hell, should've never kidnapped my family. I can't do that, bet I be the last nigga standing. Do a life sentence for my niggas, pray you understand me. I might put a switch on this Glock and call it young baby. How you real trigger know them dots? You a bird feeder, claiming he a demon. What's a demon to a cold leader? What he saying something, I ain't hear. This shit like it ain't about who got the gun, it's about who gon' up that fight first. I turn a bad situation to a game changer. Bring soldiers from the dead, just raised up the chain. Bring shots, I'ma look like Aaron Jones when I run it. Never bite the hand that speaks, you will never get that hand back. He bitch about 10%, I don't want to hear none of that. He dropping sword, fuck him, just make sure you get that cover back. Look around, he ain't with us, probably cause he never was. Now my chin like you with the angels for your brothers. Everybody won't be Richard Porter, God kill him like Alpo. Play if he want, it's laying in the trunk like Lee Malvo. I'm a certified rubber's ass nigga, I am not a toy. Hey, out with that hollow sign, yeah, this the rim accord. Feel like Gullah Jack when I'm in Fayetteville, you feel your boy. Still up on my bread, still I think that's all that I do. The way I get that boy lost, they gon' start to call him Elroy. Fuck his game, pop out on them demons like I'm Hellboy.
All right, this is the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge under Commanding General Yohana, and we have been called to teach the so-called blacks, so-called Hispanics, and so-called Native American people that we are the lost sheep of the children of Israel. I got you. I'll turn it down. All right, and you could turn mic 1. I believe it's mic. You could turn it down just a little. No. Turn it down so it's a little bit airy. Wada, I appreciate you. Today is the Monday night scripture breakdown, and tonight we're going to go into a few things. I do want to go into Matthew 7, a little bit of Matthew 7. I did want to just touch on politics. So one of the things I want to touch on is how, again, you can't trust politics. You got brothers and sisters that are so just hell-bent on trusting politics that it just doesn't make any sense. It's illogical to trust in politics, like it would be illogical to believe that Santa Claus is going to deliver presents to your house on Christmas. How many times do black people and Hispanic people have to come up short? Do y'all remember the Hispanic sister that was like, we love Donald Trump, we vote for Donald Trump? He came behind her and was groping her shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as he got the votes of the conservative Hispanics, he turned his back on them. As soon as all of these things happened to where Donald Trump got in power, even the individuals who were working out their green cards, who were working out their situation with immigration, he turned on them. Blacks and Hispanics need to understand, the so-called blacks and Hispanics need to understand, and even Native Americans, we should understand that we're just pawns in a game to where we're disposable. Something that is disposable, something that you can just throw away. They treat blacks and Hispanic like paper plates. So you have your so-called white people, you got your so-called Arabs, you got your so-called, what else do we have? Your Asians. You said move it closer?
A little bit right there.
That's Tawad? Okay, Most High Christ, Tawad, sir. You have these people who are treated like things that can be set in a dishwasher. You can't set a paper plate in a dishwasher. You can't wash a paper plate and reuse it unless you're maybe a grandma that was born in like the 40s and the 50s and you want to do that, because that might happen. But logically, paper plates after they're used are going in the trash just like our people. These white people are treated like fine china. They're going to be used again, and they're going to be put in a position to be put over you. Whether it's a position that suits them the best, they're always going to be over you. If I could, let me get Daniel chapter 8 and verse 25.
Okay.
If I could.
Come.
Okay.
Because one thing we should realize is no matter what you do, no matter how hard you try to to be an American, it's not going to work out well for you. You might prosper as an individual, but your children's children are going to feel what the brunt of Black America is going to feel. If you could, the water.
This is the book of Daniel, chapter 8 and verse 25. And through his policy, also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand.
So when the oppressor writes these policies, that is what he's able to do to control what happens nowadays. It's not so much with the stroke of war. It's not so much with the what do they call it? Attrition through a constant attack that the oppressor is able to, destroy us. They just do it with a pen. I'm gonna play something for you real quick. And if you could read that from the top, just one more time.
Khan. And through his policy also, he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand.
The water. You can stop right there. I'm gonna go ahead and play something because recently Texas passed a what's called something that was kind of they call it gerrymandering, and it's a map that was put in place, and it gives the so-called white voters more representation. It gives it more than Hispanic representation and more than a Black representation. And this is somebody who's speaking out against it. This is somebody who's at one of these congressional hearings or one of these political hearings, because your life is not political. If a police officer is able to patrol your neighborhood and he hates you and you're not able to patrol your own neighborhood, that's not political. That is a life and death situation.
Right.
And through their policy, they've put you in a life and death situation, and you think through voting you can get out of it. How is it in 2025 we're still having these conversations? When did civil rights happen? If people just want to think about it real quick. Civil rights pretty much thought they had a landmark situation in 1964. How many years ago was that? That was
50.
61 years ago.
Yeah.
So if you look at civil rights and you want to keep on saying we need to vote, we need to fight, we need to do this. No. Were Asians involved in civil rights? Hell no. Were Arabs involved in civil rights? East Indians? No. But they're in a better position than you. They don't have to worry about a vote. They don't have to worry about anything. What do? They get into your neighborhoods, they eat off of you, and you are a disposable cup or a disposable plate for these devils to eat off of, and they can just throw you away afterwards. I'm gonna go ahead and play this video of this person speaking at this congressional hearing.
Under this map, white Texans receive one member of Congress for every 445,000 residents.
So again, this is something that Texas has recently passed, and it's giving representation to others more than it would give to Blacks and Hispanics. I'll continue.
If you're Hispanic, it takes about 1.4 million residents for that same representation. If you are Black, it takes 2 million. In this proposal, a Hispanic Texan has 1/3 the political value of a white Texan under this plan. And a Black.
So under the plan that's happening, it's moved Hispanics or Mexican Texans to 1/3. Do we remember when the Constitution had us listed at, what was it, 1/3?
1/5.
It was 1/5?
3/5.
3/5.
3/5.
So they're still breaking us down into fractions, even in 2025. With Donald Trump in office, it just shows you what is in the heart of this oppressor. Can I get part of that verse one more time when it says through his policy?
Khan. And through his policy also, he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand.
This oppressor is crafty when it comes to policy. We thought we did something in 1964, 1965 with the Civil Rights Acts and all these things that were put into place. And all he has to do is undo it with a pen. With a pen, all he has to do is write something, and now the Smithsonian can't even give you their watered down version of slavery. But we're supposed to assimilate into what the oppressors call the American dream, when we're considered 1/3 in Texas, 1/5 in Texas. And you mean to tell me that somebody with a sound mind, somebody logical, doesn't understand that it's wrong what's happening. You still have Uncle Toms, Uncle Tomahawks. What will we call somebody in the Hispanic community that's an Uncle Tom? An Uncle Tomas? We still have these people that represent us in a political nature that disservice us, and we would still think that we could vote. I'm gonna play a little bit of it, and if you could drop what you had dropped on us earlier about gerrymandering, sir, if you could, I'm gonna just play a little bit more of this, if you could.
Texan 1/5. It would take.
So he said 1/5 for
in this
blacks.
proposal, a Hispanic Texan has 1/3 the political value of a white Texan under this plan, and a black Texan 1/5.
1/5.
It would take 3 Hispanics to equal the representation of 1 white Texan.
Yo, they have the white voters, or the white representation is so powerful. They are supermen and superwomen now when it comes to representation and voting. You have 5 versus 1. You have 3 versus 1. But if you have 2, if you have 3 when it comes to blacks, it doesn't matter. They're still more powerful. I'm gonna play a little bit more.
And 5 black Texans to equal the value of 1 white Texan. Under these lines, Texas Hispanics will be the most underrepresented population group in all 50 states.
Is that not
Level of
oppression?
underrepresentation will far exceed what even conservative courts have struck down in Louisiana.
So what was struck down in other states? What was deemed to be socially or politically inappropriate and wrong and just unjust is being done in Texas.
Alabama. Yesterday in Mississippi. The cold, hard truth.
So if you don't understand that the oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of, if you don't understand through policies, they can turn you back into being a 1/3 and 1/5 of a person. Why would you break me down into a fraction? Why would you break my Hispanic brothers and sisters down into a fraction? Because blacks and Hispanics and Native Americans are just pawns in this country. And sir, if you have a moment, would you be able to break down gerrymandering and what the Democrats did? Because the Democrats aren't absolved in what they've done and use us as pawns as well.
No sweat. So first thing we want to do is we want to at least get the foundation for what gerrymandering is. All right. So it says right here in gerrymandering explained, right? It says every 10 years after the census, states redraw the boundaries of a congressional and state legislative districts to reflect population changes, a process known as redistricting. Done well, it's a chance to create maps that elect legislative bodies that fairly represent communities and that are, in the words of John Adams in 1776, an exact portrait, a miniature of the people as a whole. Redistricting also takes place at the local level to redraw the boundaries of districts used to elect the members of bodies such as county commissions, city councils, and school boards. But redistricting also is a chance for those in control of the process to rig maps to favor certain candidates or political parties, a practice known as partisan gerrymandering. Although gerrymandering has long been a problem in the United States, the redistricting cycle after the 2020 census was the first since the Supreme Court's 2019 ruling that gerrymandering maps can't be challenged in federal court. Since then, Americans have been gerrymandering ramped up to the unprecedented levels in many places, and the worst may be yet to come. So basically what it's saying is that these are two sides of Esau, the white man, fighting for power, and they'll do it at all cost, even if it means switching up a map.
Right.
And really what they're doing, redistricting, is basically, okay, when you look at, let's say, California, it has like 40 something seats that are Democrat. Right. Because depending on the size of your state, it'll give you a certain seats in Congress, right? And the legislative branch and all different things like that. So what it is usually when, like, say, the House, let's say the House and the Senate has a majority, say I'll give an example, like how when Barack Obama was in office, the Democrats had a super majority. That means that it was like they were killing the Republicans, right? So it was like basically they had the House, the Senate, everything. So whatever they passed, it would get to the president and he would sign it into law, right? That's where we get all of these. Remember how we got all the Asian hate bill and all that kind of stuff, because the Democrats had a super majority, right? So now that the Republicans are in office, now they have the majority. Now they're saying let's cut up this. Let's do this. Redistricting, right? And because more people, because what they decided was that each side would only do it after 10 years. The thing with Donald Trump is the fact that he's not playing by the rules, right? So they're doing it before the 10 years, right? But states have been doing it and doing, backhanded stuff for as long as you can remember. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to figure out a way, hey, we got 40, like say in California, we got 42 seats that the Democrats have, and only 7 of them are Republican seats. Right. So they want to do the redistricting so that they can add, say, 14 seats to the Republican side and take some away from the Democratic side. So basically, at the end of the day, it's just a political game that they play at the highest level, and it's really a fight for power and control. And the problem is with our people is that we don't understand that when it comes to politics, that the politicians are snakes and the people are mice. And what happens when mice get in front of snakes? They get eaten every single time. And that's really the game that's being played. And the video that you brought out, which was heavy, is that he's breaking it down and saying this is what they're doing. So ultimately, the end game is this. I'll tell you what the ultimate end game is. The ultimate end game that would be in a perfect world is that the Republicans will crush the Democrats on every single level. That's what it would be. And this place would be a one-party system. It would be one party. It would be like fascism.
Right.
It would be fascism. It would literally be one party, one president, and that one party would basically run everything. Right. That's why Jasmine Crockett, she's done, right? Because now Jasmine Crockett's district, where she had, all that, Jasmine Crockett, right? The black senator that was acting all ghetto.
She was the one who was saying the butch blonde or something like that.
Yeah. She was acting all ghetto and all of that right. Because she was sitting over a district that majority was black, right?
Was that the one that was twerking on the beach or something?
Mm-hmm. What? So now they redistrict. So now she's not over all these black people, not like she was before. Now she's over these white folks that's over here. And you think they're gonna vote for her in the midterm? Hell no. So a lot of these people, what's happening is they're redistricting, and it's a game, it's a dirty game, but it's formidable.
Right.
And whoever has the ball can, do what they want to do. And as a result, the people that are on the bottom, the mice, they get eaten every time. So now in Texas, that map is red and it's just a few that's blue.
Right.
But at the same time, and I'm gonna just end it off with this, at the same time, even though you might see the map of, like, let's say Texas, where now when they did the redistricting, it looks like the map is red in Texas, and then there's like points that are blue, like throughout the state. But those states are where you see that blue at, that's San Antonio, that's Houston, that's Dallas. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Now the other states, the other area out, in Texas is like really ain't a lot of people there. You know what I mean? Because the Democrats still even though this is going on, they still have like those inner cities.
Right.
They still have Chicago. They still have New York City. They still have, Texas and California and different places like Sacramento, California, Los Angeles, California, Oakland, California. They still got these places. So what you're seeing now is what Trump is doing is he's making a play. He's making a play to go into these cities now, you know what I mean, and go get them that way.
Right.
By going after the Black community and the Hispanic community, because if you're going to fight crime, who are you going? Who do they consider commits all the crime? It's our people. So, like you're saying, it was a heavy topic tonight with the gerrymandering. It's just a political football,
right?
And unfortunately, Blacks and Hispanics, we're the football, and it's a game between two sides of white people.
Right.
One side is overt about racism, and the other side is covert about racism.
Damn right.
They both are fighting for power that don't include us.
Damn
That's
right.
it. That's the end of the day.
Damn right.
So I
Water for that, sir. And just to piggyback a little bit, no matter which side Black people or Hispanic people are on, whether you're a Republican or a Democrat, you're not going to get your just due on either side, because I don't really see too many, and I don't know if there's certain words we're not allowed to say, and I'm not calling anybody this. I'll just ask. We're not allowed to say coon anymore, right?
I mean, it fits right now.
Okay, Most High in Christ. So all of the coons that were, backing the Republican Party, I really don't see them in the forefront anymore. I really don't see. What was the guy that had the big gums? I can't remember his name.
Tim Scott.
Yeah, is he around anymore?
He's still around.
But they don't, I remember for a while they were using Black people in the Republican Party as like the face of it to get the acceptance. Just like you were saying, like a political football. And no matter what happens in this country, Black people are going to be the footstool of the oppressor, no matter what happens. But for some reason, they can play this game that makes us think if we get behind the Republican slave master, we'll be okay. If we get behind the Democratic, slave master, we'll be okay. But if I could, either one of those is going to be the spirit of Egypt. If you could, Kaash, can I get Isaiah 30 and verse 3? If you could, the water. Because if you just look at the history of what's happening in this country, if you look at the history of where we are, Black people as a whole aren't in a better position. There's a few people who are allowed to, be prosperous, but it's at the cost of millions. It's like if it's a good plan for just 1 to 2 to 3 Black people to do good, and then hundreds of thousands have to suffer, then they're winning. If I can promote 3 or 4 or 5 of my enemies, and then I can destroy the rest of them, which are actually the same people, and I can use them to prop up like puppets and destroy the rest of them, that's a great plan. We're destroyed in this country. Things are getting more expensive. Things are getting harder. Every single thing that the civil rights supposedly, made right in this country is just being erased. So none of that matters. The oppressor is able to take a pen and through policy just make everything that you fought for in those times in 1964, 1965. It's making it null and void. You can't trust in a country that has shown you that for years and years, and even in 2025, that you are 1/3, 1/5. Why would you I just don't understand for the life of me. It's laughable. What other countries are who have national or a nation representing them are willing to take that type of abuse? I can't think of one country. If you're a Black country, like if you're Haiti, if you're Jamaica, if you're a Black American, you're going to take that abuse. If you are a Hispanic, you're going to take that abuse. And if you're a Native American, you're going to take that abuse. Asians aren't taking that abuse. They have power. They have nuclear weapons. We have nothing. What do we have? Diddy? What do we have? Sexy Red? Meg the Stallion? Our representation is going to be just ass up at a ceremony that's meant to collect votes, shaking. That's our representation. If you could, Kaash, the water.
Khan. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 30 and verse 3. Therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame.
So the strength of Pharaoh is going to be your shame. It may not be shameful for all of these Christian pastors that have sat in these secret meetings yet. It may not be shameful yet, but for Black people as a whole that can't really, get out of the ghettos, get out of poverty, it's our shame now. But these few people, it's going to be shameful for them. What's a famous Christian pastor that's out right now that's still other than TD Jakes? Because I'm losing track. I'm not in the world anymore. Juanita Bynum.
She's still out.
What's that one? Not TD. What's that? He from Baltimore. You know what I'm talking about.
Creflo?
No, not Creflo.
I know exactly who you're talking about, but I believe the person you're talking about got chased out of Baltimore.
Yeah.
But I can't remember his name. But these people sit in these secret meetings and they play political games with our lives. Because if you there he is. It was some brothers in the hood that ran Jamal Bryant out of Baltimore and told him don't come back no more, because they know that's shameful right there. To trust in this oppressor and trust in the puppets that are from our people is just a shameful thing. We can move on to Isaiah, if you could, Isaiah 31 and verse 1, if you could.
This is the book of Isaiah. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 31 and verse 1. Woe to them that go down to Egypt for help and stay on horses and trust in chariots, because they are many, and in horsemen, because they are very strong.
If I could, when we see the power of the United States, when we see the glory of the riches, we believe that we could take part in that, and all we have to do is be 304s for this oppressor. We're damn near like prostitutes that don't get paid to fornicate with these oppressors, and the scriptures speak of it. Mm-hmm. Cap, I think it was you who said if we had been in the church and it was a real thing to scream and holler and dance, and if that was the way to get Christ back, he would have been back already with how much screaming and stuff we're doing. We haven't realized the error in our ways to where, and I'm speaking to the Christian community, if we were doing the right thing, wouldn't Christ have come back already? Wouldn't he have something to come back? Because right now there's a lot of shaking and sweating and yelling in the church.
Right.
But none of that even matters. We're about to go through Matthew 7 and 13, and that's what I want to read as we get to. So if you could start at Matthew chapter 7 and 13. And a lot of what people don't understand is your misfortune is coming from a lack of knowledge. It's coming from a lack of understanding. That's the reason why Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans are powerless in this place. That's the reason why you have a few that are good. You see right now politically, we could have more numbers than them and we don't equal up to what they equal up to in this country, because none of that matters. Zephaniah 2 and 1, we bring this one out all the time, but you have to look at what is happening. Zephaniah 2 and 1 says, gather yourselves together, O nation, not desired. Why would you think you're desired if you're literally 1/3 in Texas? You're literally 1/5 in Texas. If you literally have people that represent you that they just don't help. We'll move on. Let's get to Matthew 7 and 13 before we get out of here.
Khan. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 7 and verse 13. Enter ye in at the straight gate, for wide is the gate and broad is the way.
So if you look at what we have going on now, we believe that we can vote. We believe that we can work our way out of oppression. But when somebody can literally take a pen and chop you down to 1/3 and 1/5, there's not enough work in the world. It's a foolish thing that you think that you voted for a president that's going to have your best interests at heart when you have millions being poured in from AIPAC. And I always mess up that acronym with AIPAC, what it actually is. But let me go ahead and get what it is. It says AIPAC is the American Israel Public Affairs Committee. And what AIPAC is able to do is they're able to pay your politicians to get their way. They're able to pay your politicians to where even when you vote, your way doesn't get done. So if you're Black, if you're Hispanic, if you voted for a president, you voted for somebody who's going to take care of the needs of a foreign nation before they take care of you. And you were on the internet yelling at the Israelites, the ISUPK, for telling you that your vote didn't matter. You're saying you're stupid, vote or die, this, that, and the fourth. But when you look at it, AIPAC is so strong that they have sexual predators that are able to commit crimes over here, and they can run over to Israel without extradition. The small hat community, the AIPAC community, has their own police force. Nobody can just come in there into their neighborhoods and gun them down. Nobody can assault them with semi-automatic and automatic weapons like they did in Buffalo, New York, because they have power. You don't have power. You are a paper plate. You are a paper cup that gets thrown in the trash after they drink from you and after they eat from you. But you want to call us stupid for telling you that your vote doesn't matter. If you don't understand that your vote doesn't matter, just look at Texas. Look at it. Mm-hmm. All right, we can continue. Salakia.
Khan. And broad is the way that leadeth to destruction.
Thinking that you can cut your hair bald and shave off your beard and become one of them is a way to destruction. Thinking that you can just be in every single lifestyle that they are in leads to your destruction. If you're a Democrat in Delaware and you went and voted and you went blue all the way down, you voted for the first transgender in Delaware's history. Am I correct? Mm-hmm. Because you don't understand politics. And even if you did, you have no power. Do you know how many Black people have political science degrees in Texas? And now they are 1/3 and 1/5. And they got a political science degree and they couldn't stop that from happening. Mm-hmm. They couldn't stop 1964 and 65 from happening all over again in 2025. Verse 14.
Verse 14, because straight is the gate and narrow is the way which leadeth unto life, and few there be that find it.
So these Christians believe that they have the way. Don't Christians go out and vote
every day?
They like, I will never fully understand after I've been what will be a term for being taken out of indoctrination? Unindoctrinated? Is that a term?
Awakened.
Forgive me. I might be a little bit rude in speech sometimes, as the scriptures say.
Awakened. But
as Ka'ash said, when you're awakened, you look at these people that are in these lifestyles and people that vote and people that believe that Christ is an oppressor, because Christ was a person that fought for his people. And the people he fought against, they painted him to look just like it. So now you love the very people that fought against Christ. If I could, I'm gonna take a quick little break there. And I want to read something. This is something that I looked up because the children of the oppressor are in almost every single country ruling. So your Greeks and your Romans are literally in every country now under different names. And the very people that were oppressing us back in 60 AD are oppressing us now. I'm going to read something. And this is why you should never let a devil give you your doctrine when it comes to the Bible. It says the Dead Sea Scrolls were hidden in the Qumran caves under the first Jewish revolt. And when it's talking about Jewish revolt, that's a term that they put on. But it's really a revolt that comes from the Israelites, the Jews, because Jewish is like a Jew. These are actually Jews. It says likely between AD 66 and 68, so after Christ's death. As the Roman army advanced, the Jewish community at Qumran hid the scrolls to protect them from invading Roman forces. The Roman Catholic Church is giving you a religion, but our forefathers were trying to hide the scrolls from these very people. And these very people not only give you your religion, but they give you the policies that would reduce you to nothing. And we want to follow that. We want to follow what they have to give to us. And for the life of me, after waking up, it's hard to believe that somebody, when you explain it to them, just doesn't understand that it's not so. As Captain Zion was breaking it down for us earlier, we were having a conversation. It's okay to do business with the other nations, but you don't take on their beliefs. You don't take on their gods and their lifestyle. Because when you take on the lifestyle of the Christian church, their God is white Jesus. When you take on the religion of the oppressor, the Arabs that are an oppressor as well, you take on their God and their beliefs. And what happens when a black or a Hispanic takes on the beliefs of another person? They become a second and third class citizen. They become one third of a man or a woman, 1/5 a man or a woman. Even what's his name? Farrakhan. Even Farrakhan was saying that when he went overseas, he wasn't allowed to have a servant that was an Arab. He had to have a black servant, because I'm gonna keep saying, you are disposable. You are a paper cup. You are a paper plate, and you are going to be thrown in the trash after you use. It's that simple. There's people that understand that when they're in a relationship, that the person that's constantly using them and throwing them away is never going to be good for them. Why don't you realize that that's what the oppressor has for you in this country? And the very people that you hate and that you look down on, the very people that are on the corners trying to yell your brain to wake up, are telling you the truth. And then you laugh and you look at us like we're crazy. You think of us as trash and you tell us to get a job. But apparently we're the ones that got it figured out, because in 2025, you are 1/3 and 1/5 in Texas. I have to keep saying it because blacks and Hispanics are by definition damn near insane. Mm-hmm. You're doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. And the same thing keeps happening. What verse are we on?
We're on 15 now.
If I could, if you could keep going.
Matthew 7:15. Beware of false prophets, which come to you in sheep's clothing.
These false prophets are your TD Jakes, your Jamal Bryants, your Juanita Bynums that are rich. Is Creflo Dollar still around? Is he still making money?
Yeah,
they're still making money. They're still making money. Did they have to go to a 4-year university? No. Did they have to get a doctorate's degree, a psychology degree? Did they have to hit the lottery? No, they just had to trick blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans into believing in white Jesus. And you gave them all your money. Read.
Khan. But inwardly, they are ravening wolves.
Devouring.
You shall know them by their fruits.
What have these people produced? We talked about early, like it was a couple of classes ago where we spoke about how customs stop certain fruits and vegetables from coming over because it carries insects, or the fruit or the vegetable is an invasive species. So those customs you shouldn't take on. But these prophets, these so-called prophets, give you every foul custom to believe in. And after they give that to you, what do? They take their money. I've heard stories of brothers and sisters that will catch a bus to a church in New York, and with their bus fare, they'll end up giving that money to that pastor that says, close the door. A pastor will say, close the door, and pass that collection plate so many times. And really, they're just working with the oppressor. They're working with a political official to trick black people out of their position of power. Continue.
Do men gather, Aslakia? You shall know them by their fruits. Do men gather grapes of thorns or figs of thistles? Even so, every good tree bringeth forth good fruit, but a corrupt tree bringeth forth evil fruit.
Continue.
A good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit, neither can a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit.
If you can't tell by their fruits that these people shouldn't be over you, giving you your doctrine, then you're crazy. If you can't tell that these political officials have done nothing but lie and get money from others that are going to use it against you. When AIPAC is giving our political officials money, they're getting their, well, what's the term I want to use? They're getting their will done. And then those same AIPAC people go and they show Blacks and Hispanic Native Americans in disparaging images on TV. And then not only are they able to write policies, but they're able to justify it through the media that they control. But we're supposed to trust that these politicians and these pastors and these preachers that are telling us that these devils are the people of the book are literally the Jews that the Bible speaks of, but we see by their fruits. Well, what's another fruit that we can see? Aren't these AIPAC people continuously committing genocide over there? And where are they doing it at?
Apex.
Gaza. Aren't they committing genocide in the Gaza Strip? But we believe that these are a holy people that we should be looking at, when really we're the people that should be holy. We're the people that we should be looking at. We're the people of the book. If I could, there's a scripture that I want to find. Let me see. Let me see if I can find that real quick. If I can, I'll just go ahead and move on. We'll go ahead and move on. I'll find it in a second. All right, continue.
Khan. Verse 18. A good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit, neither can a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit. Every tree that bringeth not forth good fruit is hewn down and cast into the fire. Wherefore, by their fruits ye shall know them. Not every one that saith unto me, Lord, Lord, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven, but he that doeth the will of my Father which is in heaven. Many will say to me in that day, Lord, Lord, have we not prophesied in thy name?
How many times have you seen these Christian pastors so-called prophesy in the Lord's name? And here we have the spiritual eyes to see what's really what. And I'm gonna bring it up again. When we were down, or excuse me, up at that debate, those so-called Christians were violent and dishonest.
Yes, they were.
And the leader that they looked up to, which Captain Cesariak destroyed, was a liar who admitted being a liar after contradicting what his people said. They were getting their behinds whooped so bad they wanted to get violent and fight one of the people of us that were filming the event. But yet they pretend to be in some religion that promotes peace, when in reality Christianity has been one of the most violent religions on the entire planet.
Number one.
When our brothers and sisters were hung from the tree, Christians did that. When Christianity was being forced on the Arabs, that was done under the banner of Christianity. That was done under the banner of peace. But the oppressor pretends to bring peace, but really he's just bringing folly. He's bringing death. And then we play into that and we become violent. Aren't a lot of these brothers that do these crimes against other brothers, aren't they Christian? Isn't that what they are?
Yeah.
The scriptures tell us how to live, but that's not how we live it. You should be able to see from the fruits of Christianity what it produces, that it's not really anything we should be involved with. We should be involved with God, Christ, the scriptures, the law, not some man-made religion that causes us to hate each other and then love the very people that oppress us and write laws that diminish our worth. If you could.
Khan. Verse 22. Many will say to me in that day, Lord, Lord, have we not prophesied in thy name? And in thy name have cast out devils, and in thy name done many wonderful works. And then will I profess unto them, I never knew you. Depart from me, ye that work iniquity.
All these people who pretend that they know the Lord, or who actually are in a delusion of knowing the Lord, are going to be denied by the Father. They're going to be denied by Christ. If I could, let me get I just wanted to read one of my favorite scriptures, because Kaash,
God.
if there was a poor person that came to you and said, brother, do you got an extra shirt or a coat, and maybe some, some sandwiches, something that I could have. If they came to you in need, would you actually give them what they need, or would you just say a prayer for them?
If it's a brother,
Yes.
Khan, I would give him something to eat, or know what I mean, give him something right then and there.
Right then and there. But what does a Christian pastor do? They what do they do when somebody comes to the church? They say something to the effect of, the reason why you struggling, brother, is because you haven't given enough money. The reason why you struggling, brother, is because you don't have enough faith.
Exactly.
When if the pastor actually had faith in the Most High, they would feed that brother. They would feed that sister. If I could, you could hold where you at. I'm gonna just get James 2:16 real quick, because did we not just have a food drive to where, or we fed the community? Don't we have these things where we decide, like, even if I see somebody and I have it, and I see a brother or a sister that is in need, I'll try my best to give what I have, because it's required of me, and I believe and I have faith, because faith without works is dead. You can't just pray, you have to do. All right, and so let me see. Let me read James chapter 2 and verse 15. Let me see. All right, I'll start at 14. Salakia. James 2 and Salakia. James chapter 2, verse 14, and we getting ready to wrap it up. What doth it profit, my brethren, though a man say he hath faith and have not works? Can faith save him? If you're not willing to do the work, if you're willing to just speak with your mouth and say, Lord, Lord, and you're not actually going to do the work, you don't actually have faith. Verse 15, if a brother or sister be naked and destitute of daily food, and one of you say unto them, depart in peace, be ye warmed and filled, notwithstanding ye give them not those things which are needful to the body, what doth it profit? Do you actually have faith if you won't actually do what is needed? If that brother or sister is cold and you have the ability and the power to stop them from being cold, stop it. If you have the ability to give them food, don't just ride past them on the side of the road and say a prayer with your eyes closed on the road instead of driving. Actually give them the food and the warmth that they need. Do something. If you could, you can continue to read, and we'll get ready to wrap it up.
Khan. Verse 24, Matthew 7:24. Therefore, whosoever heareth these sayings of mine and doeth them, I will liken him unto a wise man which built his house upon a rock.
If you don't do what Christ said, you're not wise. If you don't do what Christ said, you're not actually following Christ. If you teach something else, you are the antichrist. If you teach that Christ died for everyone, then you're the antichrist, because it says in the scriptures, Christ came and died for his people. So if you're going to have faith and do the sayings, you're wise. But continue.
I will liken him unto a wise man which built his house upon a rock.
That's foundation. Believing and doing and listening to Christ is having a strong foundation. Verse 25.
And the rain descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew and beat upon that house, and it fell not.
The oppressor came. The enemy came. Things got tough, but because you had the foundation of what Christ laid, you were fine. The floods didn't wash you away. Continue.
And everyone that heareth these sayings of mine and doeth them not shall be likened unto a foolish man which built his house upon the sand.
You would be stupid not to listen to Christ. You would not have the right foundation. If you're going to listen to Donald Trump, Joe Biden, Barack Obama, Kamala Harris, JD Vance, all these other fools, and that's your foundation, these people get so caught up in politics that they end up hating their own people they see every day and grew up with. You're a fool. Verse 27.
And the rain descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew and beat upon that house, and it fell, and great was the fall of it.
We read earlier about having trust in Egypt. If you trust in Egypt, if you trust in America instead of Christ, you're going to get washed. If you trust in Donald Trump instead of the actual living God, like there is somebody that is literally babbling in front of a camera, in front of a mic, and he is powdered orange, and you're going to believe him over the actual living God, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You're going to take Donald Trump's word for it. You're not going to listen to Christ and the foundation he laid. It says you would be a fool. If I could, I'm going to just read one more thing, and then we're going to get out of here. If I could, Salakia, bear with me one moment. I'll just read one thing, because I was having an argument with some devils on Instagram once again. And because they don't have the foundation of Christ, I was washing them up in that damn comment section. The United States has broken nearly every one of over 370 ratified treaties it signed with Native Americans.
Damn.
It says often due to corruption, racism, and the desire for land. If you are going to believe an oppressor that has literally broken every treaty with someone who owned the land before them and who they destroyed, I just don't understand that. Why their track record, their history, the history that they're trying to erase is showing you who they are. If you got bad credit, if you have bad credit history, can you just go, you know what? I need to erase this. That ain't who I am. Are you getting the car you want for that price a month? Hell no. You're not. That's not what you're getting. But we want to erase the history of the oppressor and say, okay, no, he's good. He spoke words. I can't walk into a dealership and just talk a bunch of game and get them to give me a car and finance it for something good. That's not happening. When the oppressor showed you in the past who they are, you should always believe them. With that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and pass the class over to Priest and Officer Ka'ash. Ka'ash, if you could, you can just point the camera over to what's over there at the whatchamacallit. Yeah. And if you see it on the camera, matter of fact, since you switch it, I'll go ahead. I'll move.
All right, this is the ISUPK security announcements. Rules for new brother and sister. When a new brother and sister come into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are here to learn and set themselves in the world. After 6 months, they are to seek counsel from the heads. You know what I mean? If you want to marry, ask for the head's permission. If our brother or sister needs transportation, the teacher will arrange it. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers 18 and 21, Malachi 3, 8-10, Ma'asher, means that 10% of every increase of every penny that the Lord gives you. Priest fund is a free offering for the priest. It's not mandatory. Whatever amount you'd like to give. Upcoming holy convocations. It is the feast of the blowing of the trumpets, September 21st.
Damn right.
Down here, 51 Blue Hand Drive. If any brother wants to be a trooper in the school, you start wearing black boots, pants, headband, and scarf. With that, Amaju, which means to stand. Then Israel will give a courtesy salute. Majid Shabbat, Majid, Barak,
How by Shem Yahweh Shai Barakathum.
Yes, my son, hands down. Sorry, we sisters. Sister Stan. Men of Israel will give us a courtesy salute. Majid Shabbat. Majid. Barak.
How Shamar Alathum by Shem Yahweh Shai.
Yes, my son. Dismiss.